All right, we're live and you're watching Transparency and Merit. Tonight is a teaser.
Yes, it is.
So we were just going to talk a little bit about what we have coming up Thursday. Maybe get into some other ideas here. But Brian, how are you doing? You were MIA for 3 days. I was worried that maybe COVID had caught up to you.
I haven't been feeling the best, but in these times, I did think of how movies and television have kind of shaped our lives and the way in which we deal with things. And we might want to go to Wayne, because Wayne is saying live in 2 days, and this is just a teaser for for the show we're going to do on Thursday.
We basically set up 2 shows. We set up. We never do this, Wayne, but tonight we set up in advance our Thursday show, which is going to be really good. TV, movies, internet, and reality, and measuring everything up. I think you and I both are going to be able to expand on these ideas, and I think it's a really important topic, and I think we'll probably kick some butt that night.
And I wanted to touch on just this one, and this is just something out there, that TV and movies gave really bad advice on how to deal with bullies. And for the most part, bullies, the movies and television often talked about fighting the bully. And, they always showed the kid that was being bullied basically defeating the bully once he learned to be brave enough to stand up to him. And that is such bad advice.
It really is. It was very unrealistic the way they had that kind of portrayed in film and TV. I agree. I'd say for me, a real interesting one that I've noticed has been the idea, the concept of death. And I remember as a kid watching whatever it was TV shows or maybe movies, and there was always this idea of don't go to the light, come back from the light. And what I've noticed, strangely enough, is I've seen more recent films and TV shows where the idea of death is presented, and it's more towards urging the person to go towards the light. It seems minor, but it's really interesting kind of difference. It seems like now the idea is to actually step towards the light. Don't come back from it.
Well, I remember that in Poltergeist, but it's interesting you bring up the film Death. And Death, I don't think that cinema has ever dealt with death in a realistic manner. I mean, like, they come back as ghosts, and
you get all these supernatural ideas, right?
The most realistic film that dealt with death was Midnight Cowboy. In that film, one of the main characters, he just died, and that was it. It was no, he didn't say any last words or anything like that. I think the last words he was saying is, I'm pissing my pants. But it was just that, and then, he was concerned about people who consider him rats or being he didn't want people to know that he was, people called him Ratso. So
Beautiful movie all the
yeah,
way around.
beautiful film and just realistic about that. If you talk about realism, that film was it. For me. It was particularly that last scene. It was real. It was just like, and speaking of realism, the main character, the John Voight, the cowboy character, went through a real change in that film. And it was realistic change. It wasn't like he got in great shape or he became a scientist. He became grounded in reality. And most films, I don't know if they tackle things like that, and maybe because it's not profitable to do it that way. But Rocky, the first Rocky was not really real, but it was kind of grounded in realism. And then after, the second one on up just started getting more and more comic booky. And I think that movies and TV kind of skew our reality on things. And sometimes psychologists and psychiatrists on television have put out something that are completely misguided and incorrect. And that I think that we'll just leave it there, Joe. Unless you want to add anything else.
No, we've got a lot of information. I don't know if we'll get through it all in one show, but we'll give it a shot Thursday. So you definitely want to join us on Thursday. I guess that would be October 22nd.
Yeah.
And we're going to aim for 9:30 or 10 o'clock. I don't know.
We'll be tackling movies, reality TV, TV shows along with reality TV if we have time. And how that skews reality as well. So, Joe, let's call it from here. And then, hey, guys, come in and listen. And you know what? You might want to suggest any ideas you might have about television and the movies and what you think skew certain ideas and stuff.
What are your thoughts? How has it affected you? And how do you measure up media, TV, movies, internet? How do you measure it up against reality?
Yeah. And by the way, this is an election year, and a lot of people's views have been guided by both television, movies, and the internet. Have really influenced people. And they talked about, a lot of things have been censored out there. And it's hard, we've all thought that the information age, this would be the information age, but it's turned into the censorship age.
Also, I don't know if you've ever witnessed this or had this experience, but I've talked to people or overheard people talking, and I've heard people say something that was so clearly taken off of the internet, and it didn't really apply very well to the real life situation that was being handled. So maybe I'll get into some of those specifics too on Thursday. I always find that interesting. All right. Anything else, Brian? Or are we done?
That'll do it.
Cheers.